Welcome to Curt and Paul Discuss. I am your host, Paul Chappell. And today we venture into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. And the first thing I got to say is make sure you see this movie in 3D because I made a mistake of not seeing the movie in 3D. And I felt like I really missed out on something. And even though I saw it in a regular theater, it was this movie was not simple animation, and anybody who tells you that is lying. There is obviously some CGI in the movie, and I read up a little bit on it, and they did use CGI in it, so it's not a Disney like 2D, traditional animated film. Um, it was actually, like I said, it was obviously, well, what they did was they overlaid a 2D process over the CGI. It's kind of hard to explain, but they pretty much developed a whole new technique for doing animation. And many of the shots in the film look like a page out of a comic book. You'll kind of see this cross hatching in the actual cells, animated cells, and it's just a very interesting look. I've never seen anything like it. You can kind of see the cross hatching in Mal's face right there. So, like I said, if you're going to see this movie, I very highly recommend that you see it in 3D. In fact, I'm thinking about going back and looking at it just to see how it renders in 3D because it's just very, very unique looking. You can kind of see the cross hatching in every character in the movie. So, what is it about? Basically, Kingpin, who is the villain in this movie, has developed a particle accelerator, and he's opened up a dimension into different universes where there's different Spider-Man, and in each universe is a unique Spider-Man. And the way I understand it, Spider-Man has many incarnations, even in the comic books. Even Spider-Ham has his own comic book. Gwen Stacy got bitten by a spider in another universe. You got your traditional Spider-Man. Now, one interesting thing I will say, Sony references their own movies because they've owned Spider-Man for, what about 2 decades now? And they actually reference the Tobey Maguire films in this movie. So when the movie starts off, the universe that you see in the very beginning, it's the Tobey Maguire universe, and it also happens to be the universe that Miles Morales, who's the main character in this film, make no mistake about it, Miles Morales is the main character in this version of Spider-Man. But his counterpart, the regular Spider-Man, the Spider-Man who we first hear about and who explains his origin, is the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. They even reference Spider-Man 3, the horrible emo Spider-Man. They kind of make fun of that. So there's a lot of humor in this film that I didn't expect going in. And I think some of it had to do with Phil Lord being one of the writers on the film. And Phil Lord, in case you don't know, he's the guy that he did 21 Jump Street, the movie, and the sequel, and he did the Lego movie. So he had a lot of influence on some of the comedy in the movie, which I liked. I thought it worked very well. But anyway, getting back to the plot, Kingpin wants to open up these other universes, because in his universe, in the Tobey Maguire Miles Morales universe, Kingpin's wife Vanessa and his son, they're dead. So he wants to get into another dimension so he can see his son and his wife. And of course, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man wants to shut down this particle accelerator. Miles Morales gets involved. He gets bitten by a spider, of course, and he tries to investigate where he got bitten, and it just so happens to be where this particle accelerator is located. And I won't give too much away, but through the course of events, he meets up with a bunch of other these other Spider-Man incarnations from different universes. Like I said, one of them is Gwen Stacy. In her universe, she got bitten by the spider, and her friend Peter Parker actually dies as she dies in some of the other universes. You know about if you're a fan of Spider-Man, you know about Gwen Stacy's relevance to most incarnations of Spider-Man. We also have Spider-Ham. We have this Spider-Man who's an older version of Spider-Man, who's he's married. In his universe, he married Mary Jane, and they got divorced. And you got Penny Spider-Man, who's an anime, I think an anime female Spider-Man from the future. Japanese Spider-Man. I don't know much about her, but she has a robot that's also acts like armor, I guess. You got Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Man from the 1930s. He's in black and white. So there's just a lot of great ideas in this film with these alternate Spider-Mans, and they team up to fight Kingpin. Their purpose in the film is twofold. They want to get back to their universes, and at the same time they want to shut down a particle accelerator because they don't want Kingpin diddling in the other universes like he's doing. And the reason they need to go back to their universe is that they're deteriorating in the Miles Morales universe, so they need to get back before any harm comes to them. So it's very interesting plot, and like I said, Miles Morales is the main character, so a lot of the conflicts center around him. Him learning to use his new powers, and he also is trying to deal with family issues. His father wants him to go to this private school, which he doesn't like, and he meets up with a girl he likes at this private school. So you have that, him with a love interest, and learning, like I said, how to become a hero in his own right in this universe that has been occupied in the minds of most people by the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. So, and he's also teaming up with the other Spider-Mans, and trying to foil Kingpin's plot. So there's a lot of things going on with the film. And I have to say, if you have kids, they'll love this movie. As an adult, you'll probably enjoy it, but a lot of the jokes are kind of juvenile and are kind of tailor-made for kids. So, although, like I said, you enjoy it as an adult, most of the humor will probably fall flat if you're an adult. but it's worth the price of admission. I'm not gonna say that I didn't enjoy it. I did enjoy it, but if I had kids that were pre puberty, I think they would have enjoyed it more. So if you have kids that are within the range of 3 to 12, I would say they would get a more of a kick out of this movie. But on the most part, like I said, I enjoyed. I enjoyed the action. I also would point out that they do some different things with the villains in the movie that I wasn't expecting, and I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to spoil the surprise. Some of the star power in the movie, you got Nicolas Cage voicing Spider-Man Noir. You got Lee Schreiber voicing Wilson Fisk. You got Mahershala Ali voicing Miles Morales' uncle, Uncle Aaron. And Jake Johnson voicing Peter Parker. And you also got Chris Pine in this movie voicing Peter Parker, although I couldn't figure out which Peter Parker he was voicing. It might have been this Peter Parker. I wasn't really sure though. It doesn't really make a difference, but there's some star power in this movie. Zoe Kravitz was actually voicing Mary Jane. So Lily Tomlin was voicing Aunt May. So if you like any of those actors, you'll love their voice work in this movie. So the score I would give for this movie, I would give it probably a four. Four Marvels. I'm trying to think of a appropriate award, but 4 stars. 4 stars for this movie. It opened just a couple of days ago, and I've heard it made like I think 38 million. So it's doing well out the gate. Although the budget for the movie was 90 million, so they got a little ways to go before they recoup their what they spent on the making of the film. But like I said, I enjoyed it. See it in 3D. Bring your kids. Gets a big thumb up for me. And if you like my channel, subscribe. And I hope you enjoyed this version of Curt and Paul Discuss. And I'm not sure what I will be reviewing next, but it's probably going to be Aquaman. So stay tuned for that. And I will see you when I see you. Thanks for watching.